Welcome back, everybody, to our drivers' press conference here at Suzuka. And in Group 2, we're joined by Charles Leclerc, Yuki Tsunoda, and Nico Hülkenberg. Now, Yuki, let's start with you. What an opportunity for you here at Suzuka. Just how much are you looking forward to the weekend ahead?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Can't be crazier than this, I guess, this situation. First race in the Red Bull Racing, but it's also on top of it in home Grand Prix. I think best situation ever in terms of anything. But yeah, I'm just excited. Simulator went well. Spent a few days in Tokyo, which was really busy, but at the same time, able to get to spend also with the friends as well. So yeah, really good so far.
Can you tell us about your journey you've been on since China? I mean, let's start with the moment you found out that you had the drive. Who called you? Where were you? What were you doing?
Well, I can't say specific details, to be honest, with this world. But first call I got was from Christian. Think right after China that, maybe be prepared about maybe things gonna change a little bit. So just a bit of a reminder, I guess around, I don't know, Tuesday or something like that, Monday. And anyway, I was in UK for preparation for Suzuka. It was planned with VCAV and a plan change. And yeah, immediately I've done a similar session with the Red Bull Racing. I think at that point it was just in case, and within the 2 days, 3 days I was spending in UK, he confirmed in person. So that was kind of timeline. I can't say when specifically, but yeah, that was kind of timeline.
And have you driven the RB21 on the simulator? And if you have, what feedback did it give you?
Yeah, I mean, I just felt it, in the car, in simulator. Obviously, I'm sure it's not fully correct in terms of like trickiness of the car, but at least didn't feel like crazy tricky. But I can at the same time can feel what the drivers was mentioning about the instability or driver confidence things. But yeah, I mean, I tried different setups. I did multiple setups that I wanted to try and to make it a little bit better. And actually, those 2 days was pretty productive, and at least I know now what kind of direction I want to start. And it seems to be also good baseline for also as a overall performance as well. So yeah, I think it was really good simulator sessions.
And Yuki, you have a P4 in Formula One already. Have you dared to dream about your first podium at home?
Yeah, I mean, that would be great. The first race, home Grand Prix, that's obviously a side of my head. That's what I would say more like a dreaming for rather than target. To be honest, it will be tough. I'm expecting it'll be challenging. Won't be easy as a probably, I think, or probably people think, but it's such a limited time to adapt, and it's another different beast as well. So, but I'll do my best, and if I can go through Q3 and score points, I'm happy.
All right. Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Charles. Let's come to you now. Can we wind it back to China, first of all? And the double disqualification, first of all, was very uncharacteristic of Ferrari. How confident are you that the team has put that behind it and that it won't happen again here at Suzuka?
Well, I mean, confident because obviously whenever you do mistakes, you learn from them, and especially when they are costing that much. Obviously, everybody is playing with the limit and trying to be as close as possible to it, but to have both cars underneath it was a big pain, and we didn't need that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's been a very difficult first part of the season. I mean, the first 2 races were difficult. The pace was not exactly where we were expected it to be, and and to lose even more points than we already did with that. hurts the team a lot, but I'm confident that we learn from it. And obviously, whenever these kind of events happen, we try and understand and analyze where did that go wrong, and change a little bit the process of that. It was a multitude of things adding up, which makes that the margin we had took was not big enough.
As you say, it's been a difficult start to the season for Ferrari. You say it was disappointing. Just how difficult is it to extract performance from this car?
I mean, it's as difficult as always. It's always tricky to extract the maximum out of a car. I don't think that it is any more difficult on a season like this. It's just that the performance compared to McLaren, more specifically, is just not good enough. So it's not about how hard it is to extract the maximum performance out of the car. It's just that there's not enough performance in the car for now. But little step by little step, I'm sure and confident that we can close that gap, starting from this weekend, hopefully.
Well, we saw a big step from Melbourne to China. Are you expecting another step forward here?
We saw a big step on Saturday, I think. The sprint race with Lewis especially. On Sunday, I think it was back to normal. I expect us to be more or less in line with where we were in China on the Sunday and in Melbourne.
All right. Thank you. Good luck. And Nico, let's come to you now. First of all, can you give us your assessment of races 1 and 2 so far this year?
One was good, successful. One wasn't. It's pretty simple. But overall, I think it's been more positive than negative. Obviously, to get the first points, for us was a big thing and was important. In China, especially Sunday, we had some difficulties and it wasn't really, a very representative race and result for us. But how things felt within the car and the team were quite good, which makes me optimistic going forward. But as ever, things in the midfield are very, very tight, and small margins, can have a huge effect.
Optimistic going forward. Do you think this is a car that you can challenge for points at every race?
We'll see. I think it's tough. I think there's more or less the way I see it, 5 teams and 10 cars, that sit within a couple of tens. And anyway, the top 8 spots are usually occupied, by the 4 bigger teams. So it doesn't leave much on the table for the rest. But, that's the challenge. That's the job for everyone in the midfield. And I think we're all, racing for that. And, whoever will do a better job now in the next weeks and months will come out on top.
And Nico, can we just get your thoughts, bigger picture thoughts on Hinwil and Neuberg? Hinwil, first of all, how has the team grown and changed since you last raced there in 2013?
Yeah, I was in Neuburg actually for the first time last week, our power unit factory in Germany, and that was very interesting, to meet the people, to see the facilities, see what's been happening for the last kind of 2 years there, and how much they're pushing. That was quite cool and nice to see that. And Hinwil, it's still a lot of change happening as we speak, still growing a lot, upgrading the infrastructure, the people, the facilities. It's still, very much ongoing and work in progress.
All right, thank you for that. Thanks to all 3. Let's now open this to the broadcasters. Who's first, please?
Thank you. Hi, Yuki. Mariana from Budget TV. After Abu Dhabi, you said that on the long runs, I have been able to run consistently, and straight away, I felt the limitations of the car, which, if you don't have confidence in the car, you can't feel the limitations. Would you elaborate a little bit more, just to understand, and what you intend to do now that you're going to be with the new car?
It's quite simple things, I guess. If you're able to push with that car in a straight away, with 90, more than, I guess, above 95, just for the reference, you start to feel a bit of sliding front or rear. And the first thing you feel sliding once you start turning, like the front or rear, you see the limitation. And that's kind of probably sense what I was trying to say, like So and immediately, Abu Dhabi test. Fortunately, there are a lot of runoff area, so able to push quite immediately, and knowing that even I push, and if I go too much, I know that there's a bit of space to, to be forgetting. That's why, yeah, I'm able to push it immediately, but at the same time, at that point, felt quite okay with the car. I mean, RB20 had a kind of historically big limitation with the instability. And I think it was quite clear, visible that it was, as soon as I turn in, it's always happening with that kind of characteristic. So probably even I was not pushing enough, I already felt those things. And the main thing is I didn't have any reference driver to, am I driving fast enough or not to, exaggerate that kind of limitation. But I think RB20 was quite easy and having already quite big limitation enough to feel that I'm having instability quite a lot initially turning. Yep.
Thank you, Yuki. Yep, Craig.
Craig Slater, Sky Sports. A question for Charles. Given how the team did last year, Charles, the hope was a challenge for both championships this year. Given the start you've made, is there a worry at Ferrari that might not be a realistic ambition?
Not yet. I think if we go back to last year, if we look the first few races, I think the situation in terms of performance was quite a bit worse than where we are now. We kind of expected Red Bull to dominate the whole season, and obviously by taking the points that were available at the beginning of the season with the performance that we had, we ended up the season actually fighting for the championship, which was way above our expectations starting the year. So there's definitely not this feeling within the team at the moment. However, there's definitely the feeling that we haven't maximized what we could have for these first two races. And this is frustrating, but yeah, that doesn't mean that we cannot recover. We are aware that the season is still very, very long. And as I said earlier, small steps after small steps, we can still have an amazing season.
Thank you for that. Any more from the broadcasters? Yep.
Tom Slafer, that's on Spain. Question for Yuki. Yuki, it's easy to see that the Red Bull is a tricky car to drive. Do you know exactly what you need to do or change in your driving schedule, let's say, in your driving skills to adapt to the RB21, or is something that you need to learn in the next few races?
Well, first of all, I didn't feel yet exact trickiness what the driver is saying. And I have a bit of an idea from the simulator, but it's always a bit different from simulator to real car. So I'll see after FP1 if I either have to change setup but I don't think I have to change my driving style, because in the end, so far it works well, I guess. With V-carb. Otherwise, probably I wouldn't be here wearing this logo. So I just do whatever I was doing previously, and I go step by step to build the pace and everything. But let's see. Maybe I don't have to do that. Maybe car is straight away good. And last year, I think Red Bull had a pretty good performance this year, last season, both cars. So I'm quite looking forward to it.